The second half of 2022 has not been good to Taiwanese Grace Tseng. First, there were the many questions raised about her speed record claim on Manaslu last fall. Now, new doubts have arisen about her summit of Kanchenjunga in the fall of 2021. In the end, what we have is Tseng's word against highly unclear evidence, exactly what happened on Manaslu months later. While Tseng continues to maintain the integrity of her claims on both mountains, questions continue about her GPS tracks and summit pictures on Manaslu, when journalist Laszlo Pinter asked her the same question some days earlier. Tseng replied that she did have tracking files, but she cannot disclose them because they contain private information. Some of the footage shot by her Sherpa team during the summit push even suggests that they deviated from the main route shortly after Camp 4. They may have ended up somewhere on Kanchenjunga's summit ridge, far from the real summit. Here, we'll try to further the story. Some suggest that Tseng's Sherpas innocently mistook the way up the peak's confusing upper section. They may have ended up at a point on the ridge away from the highest point. Even Grace, being primarily a client, may not be at fault. This would not be the first time that the tricky upper head wall of Kanchenjunga has deceived climbers. But this interpretation still begs the question, what was the furthest point they reached? As on Manaslu, her summit photos don't prove anything. Finally, if they failed to reach the true summit, was Tseng aware of it? Knives Moroi and Romano Bine of Italy described the mountain's confusing upper sections. On their first attempt in 2012, they joined Horia Kolivansanu of Romania and Peter Hamoy of Slovakia. During the final summit push, the two Italians and Kolibasanu chose the wrong couloir on the upper part of the mountain. Only Hamoy reached the true summit. The other three found themselves on a lower central point from which they could not advance. Bear in mind that you set off at night, Binet told, that there are so many couloirs that mistakes are easy to make. Gelje Sherpa had been on Kanchenjunga only once before guiding Tseng. That means that no one on the team had been to Kanchenjunga's summit area before. They were completely alone on the mountain, after the only other group on the peak that season had left. A report by 80,000ers.com concludes that the summit was not reached. It seems that Grace Tseng and her Sherpa guides mistook the way and stopped 130 meters away and 50 meters below Kanchenjunga's highest point. In the broader picture, this also emphasizes how double-edged certain mountain achievements are, especially those trumpeted as history-making on social media. The Sherpa team guiding Grace Tseng almost certainly went the wrong way into the pinnacles and stopped at a point far below the main summit of Kanchenjunga. The published summit photos do not match any known images of the summit and do not include any of the views of surrounding peaks that would verify their location. The images do, however, show views that are only experienced lower on the route and which are not visible from the summit. The highest climbing pictures are mostly taken at the western edge of the pinnacles area. Then within the pinnacle area itself, the 8000ers.com report continues. 8000ers.com shares a highly detailed, thorough study of graphic evidence from Tseng, her team, and many other Kanchenjunga climbers. Grace Tseng's controversy recalls the 2009 expedition of Oh Eun-san of South Korea. Her claim to be the first female to summit the 14 8000ers was rejected after a thorough investigation led by Explorers Web. They concluded that she had not reached the main summit of Kanchenjunga. Her summit picture showed a different background and more snow than other summit pics by other climbers who were on the mountain at the same time. 8000ers.com team has marked the upper block below the pinnacles area at her feet. While O always maintained she had summited Kanchenjunga, the worldwide climbing community credited Edurne Pasaban of Spain as the first woman to complete all 14 8,000-meter peaks. Equally, Grace Tseng should return to Kanchenjunga in order to set her record straight on that peak. Unfortunately for her, even this might not be enough to restore her credibility. Grace Tseng climbs have been under scrutiny for the last 2 years, and after Kanchenjunga, the relatively inexperienced Tseng, always climbing as a single client and with a strong Sherpa team, showed up on winter K2 ready to become the first to repeat the 2021 Nepali feat. She eventually retreated, but only after reportedly remaining in Camp 4 for several days. Then she hopped from one 8,000er to the next, aiming to climb them all as fast as possible. she claimed to have used no O2 on K2 and then the gusher brooms. Most of her summit pictures are heavily filtered with no physical references. Yet, it was her Manaslu climb, alone on the mountain with 3 Sherpas, after dangerous avalanche conditions prompted all other teams to abort, which focused attention on her claims. She returned to announce that she had made it from base camp to summit in 13 hours without O2. But so few believed this claim that the company hosting her crowdfunding blocked her account. This new controversy around Kanchenjunga had further damaged her credibility, especially in her home country. In Taiwan, the debate had become particularly vitriolic, with supporters and critics staking out strong positions. Unfortunately for her, many of the critics are fellow climbers. In the end, these controversies extend to the contemporary high-altitude climbing scene, where heavily supported commercial clients are quick to claim world records. For those still hoping to publicize mountaineering records, here are some tips to avoid the headaches that Tseng has experienced. Carry a tracking device and publicly share the ascent live, especially during the summit push. Be clear about methods and objectives, after the climb but also before. Take plenty of summit pictures and video footage. Include geographical references and available metadata. Share at least some of it unedited as proof. Ideally, make sure some climbers, besides paid staff, are on the mountain as witnesses. Cheating is easy. Technology offers endless possibilities, from editing GPS tracks to creating images with AI. Most importantly, there is no jury to officially validate a climb. In the end, success or failure is a squishy business based on a long-term conclusion from the general mountaineering community. Summit certificates are nice to hang on a wall, but prove nothing. Before trying to snag 15 minutes of fame based on what may be a false or exaggerated claim, decide if it's really worth it. Because the speed of social media celebrity works both ways. Negative notoriety comes just as quickly and can be hell, as Tseng has discovered.